Hello.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sound test. Testing 1, 2, 3. If you've joined us, we will begin soon. Oh, hey, Telemachus. Welcome. I'm trying something new, so I found this site that lets me use my phone as a camera and then connect it to the streaming software. So I hope it's okay. It works. It's kind of an experiment. Like all these streams are kind of an experiment. But the only thing I'm not sure is the mic. So I've got my laptop actually running the stream, and then I have this camera feature on my phone is also picking up sound, but I have the mic on my phone muted. So I hope there's not some kind of weird double audio. I was messing with it, but I switched to my okay, everything seems fine. Yeah, I switched to my web just laptop mic, which is not the best, but whatever. This is just the casual channel. We're just on here to hang out. I don't have the not trying to sell anything. Anyway, so hopefully we can get some. Let's see who comes on this evening. I'm still abroad, so my the times for you guys back in the U.S. are a little weird. What is it? It's probably like 4, almost 5 o'clock EST. Hey, Charles. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done one in a while. No raid. Yeah, no raid shadow. I don't even want to say that because what if they have some scraping program where now I'm gonna get an email hello, would you like to promote Raid Shadow Legends or something? And I would say I just wouldn't answer it. I'd probably just delete it. 440. Yeah, that's what I thought. So nice to see you guys again. And we'll try this setup out where I've got the notebook on camera, and then hopefully it won't be too awkward for me to write. I don't think so, but take the money and run. I mean, that's fair enough, Telemachus. I think the only person or business I would want a sponsorship from is Curacao. I don't think my impression of the owner of Curacao, though, is he is not the kind of person to do that. And I don't know, but yeah, I don't think he'd send me stuff for free or something. As much as I would like that for him to get, and the only other company I really I think I'm pretty much the only consistent reviewer of is Wargamer Poland. They've never commented on channel or anything. I'm sure they've seen my videos. I'm guessing if they check on that, but I think probably because I'm pretty honest about their miniature quality. I don't. They probably wouldn't give me some kind of sponsorship. And I would. I don't know. I don't know if I would like that anyway, even for a smaller company like that. And I've always been given my pretty blunt opinion about those miniatures that they need a lot of the sculpting and the production quality could be much better, but they do release stuff in bulk, and the box sets are convenient. Yeah, I mean, Victrix is pretty good quality. I don't know. I guess maybe this is kind of a cop out, but I think there's just a big difference between if you are a wargaming channel and you get review stuff from Victrix or one of the other smaller manufacturers. Yeah, it's a little different. But then if it's Warlord or Games Workshop, I don't know. It's kind of I don't know if it's quite in the same league because Warlord seems to have gotten fairly GW like in many respects, which is unsurprising given the staff that run it. So um, so I think the last time I did the campaign, I did like add up the experience points that our characters got, and if you can, hopefully it's like large enough that you guys can see it. But they only really our three main adventurers, Shandor, Lucian, and Sia, only have like 80 XP. So which is way less. But mostly what we've done is like kind of more away missions and like role playing. Not a lot of monster stuff. I guess I could give them some points for accomplishing certain things, but um, I am the GM because they have done some pretty serious stuff so far in the adventure when we left off. So I think I'll give them all like 200 XP for the things that they've encountered previously. And I don't think I added. Yeah, no, I think I did do the math for the other enemies as well. So I think I'm going to give everyone plus 200 for like. I mean, it's not the same as like role playing because I'm playing all the characters, but I think 200 would be fine for the other stuff that they have run into. Uh, so new totals are going to be. Yeah, and that's why I'm using Castles and Crusades because they it still uses like XP instead of XP from gold. So and I prefer that. The XP for gold thing, that's like one of those OSR fixations that I really don't have an opinion on. If like I was playing a system where that was the rule, I would just play it, play it straight. But we're doing Castles and Crusades, so I think we'll get do some new totals. So Shandor, Lucian, and Sia. So 280. Um, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Telemachus. Yeah, I mean, because that's my problem with some of like the zero E clone, or not problem, like uh, I guess, but it's just they're not to my taste because I don't really have a lot of interest in that kind of like strictly dungeon crawling kind of game. I don't know. To me, that's always been a little simplistic and kind of silly, I guess. All right. Where were we? Because I'm gonna have to pick up well, maybe not. Okay. So we had defeated this Eblis at the Marshfolk village last time. I think I'm gonna just briefly turn the camera off just so I can look at the notebook closer. So this is the advantage to keeping a lot of records when I do this. Okay, so we went to the Marsh Bandit village. We met the Marshfolk lady Eshtari. And let's see, we defeated the Eblis, which was pretty hard. And we recovered. Yeah, that's right, because we recovered the relic, and the relic was protecting the village from the Iblis. And so now we have the relics to return to the monastery. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, let me check what day we're on. That's the main thing. So we're on day 5, and I have to check which riverboat station we are on. Okay, so we met Zaid, the Buccaneer commander, day 5. I should have probably gone through the earlier streams just to check, but I think this is the 4th station, because we're at this village, Gyahodor. And we have 10 stations. Oh, wait, okay, so day 4, we did reach the 4th resting station. Oh, no, okay, day 4, yeah, so this is the 4th halting place on the river that we were at on day 4, and then day 5 was the expedition. Well, we're still on day 5 because it's only 1:15 on the 5th day. And it took us about an hour to get to Shrubanipal. That was the marsh folk village. Okay. So, all right. So that's where we are. Okay, I think I can let's enable the camera again. Hopefully let's go and do that. Okay. Maybe I can do it like that. Hopefully it won't fall over. Okay. The camera feed. I guess maybe we can get rolling. Yeah, let's just get rolling, and we can, I'll turn the, where is the starting soon? I can get rid of that. We're just going to get rolling. Okay, so 1:15, so we defeated the Eblis. Our boat, because we're going to Fort Strock on the frontier, has been, still there. We recovered this relic for the monks, and now our party is going to return to the monastery, I think. So I better get my encounter tables open. That's the other thing I need to do before we really get moving here. I guess I could open them on my tablet, but I think I'll just open them on the laptop and page kind of tab through, because I don't really need to look at the streaming software unless there's a serious problem. All right, let me get my counter tables open. Probably need to organize the files on my computer into a RPG thing, folder. actually, if I sort by time, that's probably going to give me a better. Let's see, date modified. I got these back in. Let's see where. Castles and Crusades, player handbook, character sheet. Uh, do, do, do, do. See, I'm a bad streamer. I should have had this ready to go, had this all queued up. Um, I think I'll just open it on my tablet off to the side, and then that way I've got it. I have it up. Oh yeah, Noble Knight did have a really big sale recently. There was some tempting stuff on there, but I had to be disciplined. Got the monster handbook up, and let's see. Okay, just one more thing, and then we can get, because really I need the NPC generation table. That's kind of the really crucial resource that makes this game interesting. Um, okay, getting warmer in my. Thought about doing this like whole thing just like using MS Paint to like draw up the battle maps, but I feel like the experience kind of loses something without the me showing the actual like pen and paper. So um, I don't know, maybe it's not, but I felt like if I just use all computer, it would just be like a video game, I guess. Um, okay, let me get the. Do I not have this on my tablet? I should. Let's see. Oh, here we go. NPC tables and the encounter tables. Got it. 420 D&D. Okay. Okay. Now we're in business. Okay, so I think what we'll do, we're going to go back to the village. So turn the page here. So I think the marsh folk have thanked us for helping them, and at yeah, it's going to be day 5 continued. It's a relic of Saint. What did I say? The saint's name. I used a Persian name. I know that. Danishmand. Yeah. Okay, so we have returned the relic to the monastery, and Imre, the senior cleric, thanks us. He let's see. Do Shandor and Lucian want to try to convince Imre to help to accompany them on the journey? I don't think that he would go for it, frankly. What Imre is pretty old, and he has a kind of we rolled up. He has a kind of like difficult personality. So I don't think he is going to accompany them. So we've returned to the monastery. Sia, well, wait, actually, never split the party. Well, actually, a bunch of our main adventurers actually got pretty seriously wounded. So let me see. Okay, so yeah, that's right. I completely missed this. So Sia and Lucian are both at negative hit points. Shandor, I think, is also hurt. I think everyone is pretty seriously injured. Or Shandor. Did Shandor not take any damage? This is where I'm did I mark it? This is what happens when I put this away for a while and then I don't come back to it. Actually, our party might have to rest at the um, might have to rest at the okay, so Shandor has 10 base hit points, Lucian has 4, and I guess Shandor actually did not take any damage, if I'm reading my notes correctly. So, yeah, because I would have marked that down. Imre took 4 hit points damage. Yeah, okay, so our rogue Sia and Lucian the cleric are both seriously wounded. So I have to check how long it takes for them to be healed according to Castles and Crusades, which I knew this last time, and I don't currently remember, so let's see. I'm pretty sure it's 1 hit point per day. If you're in like a comfortable attacking and looting things, or at least attacking the monastery. Let me classic monsters. I need the player handbook. Yeah. I mean, he had some problem. Yeah, he definitely did have problems dealing damage. Actually, like throughout this campaign, the adventurers have like not really done very well in terms of rolling. All right, let me look at the. I think that would be on the hit points section, page 255. You know, one really good thing about Castles and Crusades is the book is extremely easy to navigate, and I don't ever feel like there's like a bunch of extra fluff in it. Healing. Okay, hit points heal at a rate of 1 point per day, and only if the character is resting, well fed, and kept warm. Okay, after 7 days, the rate of healing increases to include the Constitution bonus. After 14 days, the rate of healing doubles, and after 30 days, it triples. Now, here's one thing we could do is they could stay at the monastery because the monks are clerics, so they could heal the party with their spells. I could just handle it like that. And certainly I think they would do that because they've done a very important task. So I think they would, heal our characters up to, full health basically, for doing that. What was the religion? Religions. Yeah, it's like like neutral good. I don't know. I guess I don't. I have a hard time with like lawful good lawful good, lawful to neutral good. It can be like kind of neutral to lawful good, maybe something like that. Okay. All right. I think this camera app is actually creating more problems than it solves. So, um, just some buffering. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm connected to Ethernet to do this, but I guess maybe there's some slowdown from this camera app thing. If I have to like disable it, I might just do that. Um, and I don't know, just put up another picture or something, or just open like Paint to illustrate things, maybe like I thought about doing originally. Okay, so I think the clerics are going to heal all of our characters to full health, but I think they will just still need to rest the rest of today, at least, going back to the monastery, or after they've gone back to the monastery. So, okay. So I think since Shandor is once again like really our only person who is uh, conscious, he will try to convince Imre. We could use someone of your experience, but Imre is pretty old. Like, should be retired. He's like pretty much in retirement, as retired as like a monastic cleric could be, I guess. And he's not going to accompany them. He was just there to help recover the relic. But he says that he would be happy to help them if they ever come back and they're, in the monastery or in their debt. But Chandra says, of course, he's a knight, so he's going to say, no, no, no. This is my duty as a knight of the kingdom of Jagalon. And I think Imre says, well, okay, so our so we'll say that from about 3 to the next morning that they would have to get on the boat, 3 to midnight, maybe that's a good idea, Telemachus. So we'll say from 3 to 12 a.m., 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. Sia and Lucian are being healed, resting. So they'll be back up to their full hit points, and then, yeah, that's a good idea, Telemachus. Okay, so Shandor, he is, like in the monastery, taking some time to rest himself and pray, and he encounters one of the monks who, is talking to him about thank you, and they get to talking. And let's go ahead and we will roll on our NPC table to see what kind of monk this is. All right, this is where the fun begins. Okay. Well, I'm not going to roll on alignment because he's going to be like lawful good or neutral good. Probably lawful good. Maybe he's like the younger monk, so he's kind of, got some kind of gleam in his eye. Possessions, I'm not going to roll on that because it's going to be scant. He's a monk. He's not going to have a whole lot. Okay, appearance. Well, Well, he might not necessarily be that young, but well, let's go ahead and roll. And if it doesn't, if it's not a really see, then I can fiat what the result is. Okay, 1. Yeah, young. Okay, so that's a 1. So that's young. So let's say he's like probably a neophyte kind of monk. What's his appearance? He's dirty. Oh no. Okay. Do we want to keep that result? Um. Yeah. Maybe he is. Maybe he is dirty, and the other monks don't like that, and they're trying to like kind of push him out the door. They think he's just really not doing. He's not taking care of himself. Okay, sanity. He is normal. Okay, so he's normal sanity, but he's just not very clean. Um, general tendencies. Oh, this is one of those funky charts where not sure what Gary his eminence Gary Gygax was doing. Okay, with this. All right, 4. So we roll on. I think that means we roll on the right hand side of the column in this chart, and then we do our D12. Does CNC dual class? In the core book that I have, you can do like class and a half, but I don't know the rules off the top of my head, so we might have to look at that. But that is a good idea. I mean, we have Sia, who is a rogue, or rogue. But yeah, I mean, he could be like a thief that maybe he gave up his crimes and became a monk. That could be an interesting idea for a character. Let's see, what are his general tendencies? Yeah. He is servile and obsequious. Okay. Let me okay, we'll say around 330. And he is young, normal sanity, dirty appearance. Uh, and he is servile, obsequious. I don't know. Maybe Lucian, in my mind, yes, he's a level 1 cleric, but he's kind of more experienced. He was educated. He was stationed in the kingdom, so he was kind of got some maybe experience as like a town or city cleric. Dealing with like parishioners, that kind of thing. Okay, so all right, personality. So we're going to do our D8 and then a D8. 5. Oh, he's hostile. Okay. Oh wait, no, that just means we roll in the average table. So we roll. Okay, so we roll 1 through 5 is an average personality, and then we roll again. Okay. Still, so he's hostile. All right. All right. So how does this work? So he's servile, but he's also hostile. Um, I guess you could be servile to people you like, but then generally have like a hostile disposition, or be servile to people you want to impress. So we'll keep that. Maybe he's kind of a hothead, and that would fit if he was like a thief. Before he took vows to be a cleric. Okay. Uh, disposition. It's going to be a D10. So it's a 10. So he's harsh. Okay. Um, Maybe he's kind of grumpy. He's on the frontier. He's got to like deal with probably a lot of villagers that maybe are kind of they're gossiping all the time. They've always got kind of petty conflicts going on. Um, yeah, that's a good point, Telemachus. Yeah. Okay, intellect. He's scheming. Okay, I don't know. Do we want to take this guy with us on the all right, he's a schemer. This is interesting. Okay. All right, nature. He's unforgiving. This is only getting worse. Um, Materialism. Now he is a monk, so he should be, like not really. Okay, he's intellectualist. All right. So he really likes to. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of physical um, possessions, but he, likes to be in the know. That would fit with him being scheming. Like he's always got to know the gossip of like what's going on, who's doing what, that kind of thing. Okay. Um, Honesty. Is he an honest guy? He's very honorable. Okay. All right. So he's very honorable. Bravery. It's going to be a D8. He's normal. Okay. What's next? Okay, now we do morals. All right, let's see if he because Shandor's like a knight, and he's of good alignment, so he's not going to go with anybody who's like bad. Okay, he's got aesthetic morals. I guess does that mean maybe superficial? What did you mean, Gary? Um, I'm going to re-roll that one. That's a 4. Okay, normal morals. Yeah. Okay, piety. He has average piety, so he's a cleric, so he does what he has to do, um, and he believes, but he doesn't have like a kind of he's not on fire with the Lord, let's say. Okay, energy. It's going to be a D8. Uh, he is okay. Normal energy. Thrift. He's average thrift. Yeah, thanks, Charles. I'm glad I was able to do this like camera setup so I can like have my map that I drew next to like the notebook, so it's I got both. And I think that's probably better than like when I was trying to experiment when I was doing this back at my normal place with like having the map, the world map, the original drawing and my sketchbook open and having the notebook. So I think this works pretty um, well enough. Um, and I did draw the city that's on the world map. Let me maybe I can, since I don't need this black space, I can, at the bottom, I can make this a little bit bigger maybe. Um, yeah, I did draw this Black Spire city that's like down here, and I did the map, but I think I'm going to um, like recopy it onto a new page and like color it like this. with my markers. Because I would like to do maybe another campaign after this one, or a parallel campaign set in that city, because I have ideas for that location that, like, if you go to Blackspire and you're not a citizen, uh, you're going to be like basically enslaved somehow, and that's the only way you get in if you're not a citizen, and or you have some kind of like trading privileges that are hard to get. These are just my ideas, and then the idea would be that you are like working in the system either to get your freedom, or you are trying to become like a employed by one of the sorcerer families, something like that. So I want to make like a full color map of that city, because that way I can do like urban kind of stuff, and then yeah, that's a good idea, Telemachus, and then to switch between the two, because that way I can do like a more urban feel campaign, and then because this is more like wilderness, we're going out into the steppes and stuff. Yeah, that's a good idea, Telemachus. um okay, let's finish rolling up this NPC. So we did his thrift. What are his interests? Let's roll on the funny table. So we roll on the left hand table, and then 20. Oh no, sorry, that needs to be a D12. Whoops. He Okay, so he's interested in animal husbandry. That's interesting. Um, and collections. So, oh, that's only if he has an interest in collections. Okay. Do we need to do? I don't really think we need to do like the height and weight stuff, because I'm kind of imagining this guy is like average height, kind of trim. He's probably a little thin because he's a monk. They do a lot of fasting and stuff. So um, we're not going to do language. A lot of these languages that are in D&D don't really apply to my setting. Um, okay. So what should we name this guy? Uh, hmm. What should we name this guy? Oh, I need to plug my laptop in. Find the cord here. Maybe. Well, maybe he's from the steppes. Um, or maybe he's one of these marsh folk actually that joined the monastery. Yeah, let's go with that. So he's from the marsh folk. Maybe he was one of the marsh bandits at one point, and now he joined the monastery. And he is, still kind of in his old ways a lot. If only there was a table or 100. I know, Telemachus. I think seriously though, I think for this urban campaign I'm thinking about, I would probably use like your the stuff you posted for like the urban and cyberpunk adventures, because I think that would work pretty well. Um, okay, let me need to look something up. Let me see what's a good Sumerian name. See, these are all like Sumerian deity names. Um, I actually was able to log into a book on online, and here's a good one. Absumu. Okay, so Shandor talks to um, Absumu, and Absumu says, "I cannot believe you defeated an Iblis. This is incredible. Uh, Perhaps you need another cleric, as your brother Lucian is quite prone to, well, if he's wounded so much, I'm not sure he can be relied upon." And Shandor is a bit, says, "Well, it is true that Brother Lucian has fallen a few times. There's no need to be so insulting. But we could use another cleric. It would not hurt." Uh, and Absumu says, "I believe I could receive authorization from Imre to accompany you, as I would be ministering to the step. So it would not be a dereliction of my duties." And Shandor is kind of skeptical because, he is an honorable knight. He's not sure about this guy, and he doesn't like kind of the look in his eyes. But he says he thinks, well, we could use another cleric. So they're going to do that. He says, yes, yes, you may accompany us. Um, we are going to Fort Strock, still some days away, and your presence would be certainly helpful. Now, I'm going to roll him up, but I don't, maybe this is being kind of cheesy, but I don't think he should be a level 1 cleric. I think he should probably be maybe a level 2, because he does have some experience, but, not that much more, maybe. Yeah, why don't, yeah, I guess I can make him a level 2 cleric. So let's go ahead and roll up some stats for him. Okay. Let me go back to the beginning, because I've not done this in a little bit. I need to go to attributes first, and then, okay. Just needed to take a drink of some Pepsi. 0 there. Okay. All right, let's go and roll his hit die. So it's a D8. That's a 4. Okay. All right, and then we'll do his. Oh well, if we're gonna make him a level 2, then okay, so that rolled pretty well. So he's gonna have 11 hit points. Base to hit will be a +1. How many spells? Okay, yeah, ability to cast divine spells. All right, now we got to roll. İyi akşamlar Mehmet Yarısı. Nasılsın? Bir RPG yapıyorum. Okay. Let me go and roll up his. Let's see, attributes. Okay, go and do his attributes. So, strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, charisma. Oh, ben de iyiyim ama küçük yorgunum. Okay. All right, strength is a 6, 8, and it's a 13, so that's not bad. Okay, I think I'll re-roll the ones on this guy since. No, that's 2 1. Okay, 6, 12, 17. Okay, so he's got pretty good dexterity. 6, 10, 14 Constitution, not bad. All right, intelligence 6, 9, 12. So kind of a moderate intelligence. Wisdom 5, 11. Okay, 17. Okay, so for a cleric, that's pretty good wisdom. Charisma 4, 9, and that's a 13. So, okay. All right, now I gotta mark down. So that's +1, +2, bonus, +1. Mehmet Mirza, Türkiye'de mısın? uh, hmm, başka bir diyar. Let's see, int is 0. Wisdom is, no, we're looking at the bonus here. It's a +2. And charisma gives him a +1. Okay, so not a pretty good stats on this cleric, so he might help him. Now we got to look at his what are his spells going to be? Because I don't. Let's see how many. See, the thing with Castles and Crusades for the character spells, this is one thing. It's like you don't really get that many spells, which this probably fits with like the old school RPG philosophy. But yeah, here we go. Okay, so we get, so he gets spells, gets so he's at level 2, so he gets 4. 4-0 level, and 2 first level. Okay. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and pick his spells here. We're going to go to the. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, Telemachus. I think Castles and Crusades, there is something like if you're I think if you're the wizard, you have to like learn the spells, but I think the cleric you don't. Let me look at the cleric entry real quick. Again, so because the cleric uses divine magic, turn undead. Yeah, clerics have them. Yeah, that's right, Talem. Because I mean, it's because like, but I think in Castles and Crusades it still uses like the OSR philosophy of like you have to, if you're a wizard, you have to research them or something. Yeah. They also have Bard in Castles and Crusades. When I started playing Baldur's Gate back like in middle school or high school, whenever I got that game, I was like I was always trying to do a Bard run, and I was just always getting destroyed. That was before I learned for Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you have to just like quick save and reload constantly to like get through the game. Um, okay, I adjusted my seating position, which you guys cannot see, so now it's like a little bit easier for me to like write, and instead of leaning forward from our couch here. Anyway, attribute modifiers. I'm trying to find the Uh, where's Clerics and Druids, page 115. Okay. Okay, what do we want to give him for, let's see, 0 level? Oh, maybe I could spell correctly. Yeah, probably create water, because they are living on near the steppes, so that would probably be useful. That would logically fit with like the character. Create water. Yeah, detect disposition. Okay, now maybe I guess would this mean then that it's just a cleric could cast any 0 level spell that's on the list, but only up to 4? Or or is it just the ones I would pick for him for this character? Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up later, but I think I'm just gonna pick 4 spells and then just say those are the spells he has. Um, yeah, first aid. And I think purify. Just what's memorized. Okay, thanks, Telemachus. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, okay, and then let's do his first level spells, and he's going to have, yeah, bless, definitely. That has been like a pretty significant, yeah, +1 to hit, +1 versus fear for allies. That +1 can make a pretty big difference. And heal light wounds. That's pretty important for a cleric, I think. Heal light wounds. Okay, and then his equipment. He's probably not going to have a lot of equipment. When I've been making these characters, I haven't gone through every single like piece of like extra gear that they would have. Um, I'm mostly just going off like common sense of things like that someone would bring, like, yeah, like these guys are going to have in their bag or their baggage somewhere, like Kashandor has the horse, like a bedroll and like that kind of stuff. Um, for now, I'm not going to worry about that. Also, because I'm doing this solo, so it's kind of a lot to juggle. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, weapon and armor. And he's probably not going to have a ton of gear because, he's a cleric. I think let's see. He's just going to have maybe just a club. Maybe a hammer. Yeah, Warhammer. So, well, if I say that, I'm gonna have to, gotta pay royalties to Games Workshop now. 1d8. Does 1d8. Okay, and armor. I think he's just gonna have the cloth armor like Lucian has. Still funny to me in this rule book. They have some historical like armors, like they've got Roman. It's also like Greek. Uh, but then they also have Polish Hussar. So okay. Oh yeah. Of course. Telemachus. Yeah, that's the Games Workshop way. Um, yeah. Uh, maybe he'll have a helmet too. But like, yeah, like a pot helmet. Like maybe they've got like something lying around in the monastery. They're like, oh yeah, okay, you can take this. Weapons. Okay, armor. Um, no, not cloth armor, but the padded armor. Yeah. Gives us +1. And then so his AC is 10 plus the 3 from his equipment, and then I think it's also your dex bonus. Yeah, pretty sure it's the dex bonus. One thing I wish Troll Lord would do for Castles and Crusades is to just release like their own QRS. That's like a weird thing with like RPGs. They tend to not have like a QRS like a war game does. I don't know why that is exactly, or maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention. I need to go to the combat rules. Oh that's right, Telemachus. Yeah, I always forget those exist. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, you got to pay for the QRS. Yeah, which in the case of Castles and Crusades, I think I'd probably do. I like Troll Lord, and generally their prices on stuff is pretty fair. So um, okay, combat actions. Where is Oh yeah, that is a good idea, Telemachus. I did buy the Call of Cthulhu one, and I'm pretty happy with it. Also because that Call of Cthulhu um, screen when you buy it, I mean, it comes with a bunch of like extra stuff. Like it's got the like some adventures and it also includes like an index to the main rules and like a QRL, like kind of another like document. So that's pretty handy. Oh yeah, Dex. Yeah, okay. Plus the Dex bonus. I was right, but sometimes I just like to check these rules just to really get the system down. And then his uh, for his melee combat. Yeah, so he would get plus 1 from strength on damage. Okay. Okay, so we've recruited Absumu, and he goes to Imre, who's one of the senior monks, and says, Brother Imre, I request formal permission to accompany Shandor, so Knight Shandor, and his companions to Fort Strock, and he kind of says, "Yes, you can go. It's okay. I think you may need some time out on the frontier on the steppe to become a better cleric, and may the God of the sky and Saint Danishman protect you, and go forth spreading peace and justice." And so Absumu says, "I will meet you at the boat tomorrow. Tell Shandor this," and Shandor says, "Yes, very well." And then they part ways, and that would be, let's say, doing all this took about an hour. So it's now about 4:30 p.m. on day 5. Okay, so Shandor has some downtime. His companions are being healed. Imre has gone back to, he was never really like a full member of the group. So, and Divinicus is, where's Divinicus? Because he didn't accompany them on this expedition because he's just a scribe. He's just a royal scribe. So, he's probably just in the monastery library. That's where he would be, because he's kind of me. So it's kind of my self-insert character. So he's just in the library. He doesn't want to go off fighting. Shandor probably pays him like a visit just to check in and reports to what happened. And Dominicus says, "Yes, very good. I will write this in my report to the kingdom." And actually, he's probably in the library to read and also to write a report of what they've done to show that they are not just delaying to get to the fort. They've been performing important tasks to represent the kingdom on the frontier. So Shandor will go out in town, and probably, he's a knight, but he'll go, okay, we'll do the typical RPG thing. He's going to go to the tavern. There is a tavern, and he sits down and he asks for a glass of wine. This is the wine that the monks help grow, and he's sitting at a table, and he's wearing his mail and everything. No, actually, he's probably trying to relax. So he took his mail off. He's got his sword, of course, but he's just wearing like his sort of uniform tunic, without his mail and like overcoat, or the coat that goes over his mail. And he is sitting in the tavern, and does someone approach him? Yes, someone does approach him, and let's roll. What kind of person approaches Shandor? Because who knows? What if it's like a bad guy that Shandor doesn't realize is a bad guy or something? Or maybe it's an honest person. All right, let's see. Okay. So let's see. It's in the afternoon. People are slowly coming away from their work. Certain people that stop work around this time, and they're coming. So the place is filling up. Shandor is sort of taken a corner table to himself, to just kind of sit there and relax. And also he's a knight, so it's not really good for him to mix with commoners too much. Not that he's like a snob. It's just, he is like a law enforcement kind of figure in the kingdom, or in areas where the kingdom protects. So, he's kind of off duty. All right. What kind of person approaches him? All right, let's go alignment. See what happens. 7. Chaotic good. Okay. Well, let me just make a note. Shandor goes to the village tavern to relax. And this village is like pretty mixed. So you've got like some Jagiellonians, but mostly Ghazalians, the steppe people, that have kind of taken up residence, around the monastery. So it's kind of like a, mixed population. And Shandor doesn't know any of the Ghazalian dialects, so he doesn't really understand everything that's being spoken. So maybe this person's from the steppe, a Ghazalian from the steppe that he doesn't understand fully. We'll see. Okay, so could be a woman. Does a woman approach Shandor? I don't know. Okay, we'll just say a person for now. We can think about that maybe toward the end. Chaotic good. Possessions. Average. Appearance. Youthful. General. Imposing. Okay. Um, Sanity. 8, unstable. Okay. Okay, well, maybe that gives us a clue as to what this kind of person is. General tendencies. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no. We roll on the first table. Okay, I thought we were going to get another hedonist or perv or something. Okay, now we roll this. We roll on the left-hand table, so 1 through 12. 5. Helpful / kindly. Okay. Personality. Whoops. So we roll on the extroverted chart. Overbearing. Disposition. Hot-tempered. Okay. No, they don't know. And this, the one you send me, Telemachus, from, I think, what is this, 1E? No, there's no conditions like that. It's mostly just like personality quirks, personality features, um, intellect, average intellect, nature, vengeful. Okay. Okay, so chaotic good, helpful and kindly, but also hot-tempered and unstable. Okay, I think I can see what this kind of character is. Yeah. Materialism, greedy. I don't know. Can you be greedy and be good, like chaotic good? Yeah, I get. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could be greedy and be chaotic good because, like, you could, you do the right thing, but like, let's say, you're going, okay, you go to beat the bandits, and you're gonna say, oh, okay, I'm gonna like take some of this coin they stole, because they stole it, so it's sort of open like that. Okay. Honesty. D8. Truthful. Okay. So this is the kind of person that yeah, they're greedy, but uh, if asked, like, did you take this, or are you greedy, like, they would just say, he or she would just say yes. Yeah. um Bravery. Normal bravery. Okay. Morals. It's a D12. Immoral. Oh, okay, come on now. Okay, you can't be chaotic good and be immoral. I'm gonna, as the GM, I'm issuing a no to that. Okay, 4 normal morals. Okay. Piety. Iconoclastic. Okay. Energy. Lazy. Thrift. A wastrel. interests. So we go the first column. Interested in legends, okay. Okay, what kind of, okay, so is it I think this is a man. This seems like kind of a aggressive, like masculine kind of character. So a man approaches him. He's probably from the steppe, uh, but he's settled in town, and maybe he's actually never seen a knight from the kingdom before. So and he's interested in legends. So okay, so he's wearing like a red kaftan. Oh, got a little excited there. Okay. Yeah, okay. So he's wearing like a red kaftan and like a black kind of cap. And he approaches Shandor and he says, greetings, sir, I don't wish to disturb you, but I, and he's probably kind of big because he's imposing, so he's probably kind of like pretty strong, maybe, and he says, uh, why I already heard about the story that you recovered the relic from the monastery, and it's amazing, it's amazing. Uh, and Shandor says, yes, thank you. He says, are you really a knight from Jagalon? I have never seen a Jagalonian knight. Are you, I thought it was just a legend that the monks told. And Shandor says, yes, of course, I'm a real knight. You know, I'm a knight of the first rank, and I'm heading to my first assignment on the frontier. Well, I don't know. Should Shandor be disclosing? Well, maybe he just does. Okay, he just lets that slip out. His orders basically, which probably shouldn't, but he seems. This guy seems nice. He's trying to be kind to the townsfolk. How does let's see if let's roll a reaction to, because now like this guy is like kind of just approaches him, starts talking at Shandor, but once Shandor replies, how does he react? And maybe Shandor says yes, but thank you. I would like to just relax and have my drink. We have had a difficult day. My friends have, it was not an easy task what we did today. All right, what is this guy's reaction? 32, uncertain, but 55% prone toward negative. Okay, so I guess I could just roll again, see if it's negative. So that'd be 90. So it's positive. Okay, so it's a positive reaction to Shandor, and he says, "Yes, may I sit with you?" And he says, Chandra says no. He needs to be left alone. It's not proper for him to mingle with people of his rank, to not give the appearance of sort of potential corruption, something like that, maybe. And the stranger says, yes, I understand. I didn't mean to bother you. And Chandra says, kind of nods and says, yes, have, peace be upon you, and have a good day. And this man kind of goes away. So I think Shandor sits there for a while. More people filter in. A lot of people are talking about kind of what happened. The relic was returned to the monastery, and they kind of feel like the village is safer again. They feel kind of the spirit of Saint Donishmond, helping them. Who else comes in to the inn that's maybe notable? Let's see. Maybe there's another person that takes an interest in Shandor. Well, maybe notable is the wrong word, but like a striking person, maybe just someone making deliveries. Yeah, it could be. All right, let's roll up another NPC. Somebody else comes in and see what happens. See, I could have prepped, and I would have I could have written out a whole plot line and prepped, and there would be an epic encounter. I kind of like in this campaign. Oh yeah, random chance and yeah, that's a good point, Telemachus. Oh wait, there's that city encounter table that they did for this edition, I think. Um, Maybe it's in. Hang on, I lost the. Wait, let me look at the random encounter table. Wilderness. This is outdoor. Waterborne encounter. City. Oh, here we go. City town encounter tables. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go ahead and roll and see what happens. 62. Okay, a merchant enters the tavern. He's clearly dressed as like a merchant. Maybe he's a merchant from the east. Nothing really notable. Shandor really has no need to buy anything. Okay, let's roll again. Another encounter. Who else is entering the tavern? Who's milling about? 51. A magic user. Okay. Now this is where it could get interesting, especially with my setting. Okay, so a short time later, a man with a kind of ratty looking cloak and sort of yellowish robes enters. He almost kind of like slithers in. His movement kind of looks like a almost like a serpent or a slug in some ways. He smells. The other patrons, some of them appear to recognize him, but they avoid him, and he he goes up to the bar, and people kind of clear away from him, and he removes his hood. His head is totally shaved, and his around his maybe like in a ring around his sort of skull is like a tattooed pattern. Shandor doesn't recognize the writing. It's not like any kind of Ghazalian or Babarid writing or Jagiellonian writing. It's some kind of other strange alphabet he's never seen before. And the bartender serves him a drink immediately, suggesting to Shandor that this guy is kind of a regular somewhat. And he sits there and he's kind of hunched over, and Shandor starts to critically observe him. What is this guy doing here? Okay, and just for clarification, so all arcane magic users in my setting are kind of somewhere on the evil spectrum. Maybe they're not like evil in the sense that they're like always like mustache twirling villain, but the magic kind of has warped them somehow. Kind of like the Sith in Star Wars. Like their use of the way in Star Wars, like the Sith use the Force and it kind of like twists them. It's the same idea here with like the arcane magic. So what does this guy want, or what is he going to do? Well, he probably isn't going to like the look of Shandor. So, what does the 1E guide say? I mean, I could just make this up, but actually, Telemachus, I was kind of thinking about that, because, like, maybe he's in league with the Iblises. Actually, maybe he's, like, angry that the relic was returned. Because maybe he was trying to. Okay, now I think we're kind of in a direction where we're cooking with something here. Yeah, maybe he stole this. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just like brainstorming, because we might roll some things and something different might happen. But maybe he actually intended to steal the relic, but the Marshfolk got to it first to still stole it, but they were using it to like stop this Iblis, this this crane kind of creature. And now he knows it's back and he's trying to get it. Okay. Yeah, this could be interesting. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, that's a good idea, Telemachus. Yeah. Um, yeah. All right, let's see what the DMG says about magic user. Encounters will be with a magic user 7th to 12th level and 1 to 4 henchmen. I'm not going to follow this because this is like for a different system basically, and also like our characters are level 1, so I don't want to make it completely ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, so he's in there. He sits down, and he's drinking, and he's like kind of looking around, and he tries to talk to some of the people in the tavern, but they're not having it. Some of them whisper, to throw him out. And the bartender kind of approaches him and says, pardon, what should I name him? Hang on a second. Let me, I'm looking up, some things. What are maybe some of the, villains from the Shahnameh, the Persian Shahnameh. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So the bartender approaches this guy, kind of shaking a bit, and says, pardon, Tahmoris Bey, but I must ask you to leave. You are making the other guests of the tavern uncomfortable. You cannot come in here. I told you cannot, you are not welcome here. And he basically, and Tahmoris downs his drink, his wine. He stands up. He slams his hands on the bar, and then he basically he screams, and he says, enough talk from you. You are, a less than an ant. And his words have some kind of magical power or force to them, and the bartender, or maybe the bartender is just not prepared for this kind of confrontation, and he, sort of shrivels back. Charm person, yeah, maybe Telemachus. We'd have to roll up his spells. Yeah, it could be, yeah, and so he shrivels back. The bartender, that is, shrivels back, and and Tahmoris, this wizard or sorcerer, he looks around the bar, and he is kind of wondering why has a cloud of filth descended over this place? And he yells this, and he kind of paces around. Now, of course, Shandor has tightened up. He doesn't know what this man is about because he's probably never seen, he's heard of and read about like sorcerers, but they don't have them in Jagalon. That's illegal. And so he grips, he's kind of got his hand on his sword. And then Tahmores suddenly turns and he stares, seeing Shandor in his, his uniform tunic, the dark blue coat of the knights, and he says, and his eyes kind of grow, and without saying anything, he realizes what happened, that of how the relic was returned to the village. And Shandor stands up, and perhaps with some naivete, he says, "You are disturbing the peace under the law of the Kingdom of Jagalon, of which this village is under its protection. I have the right to arrest you. You are disturbing the peace. You may go peacefully, and if you will leave the bounds of this village by nightfall and do not come back. And indeed, my companion, a royal scribe, can even write the writ of expulsion and exile from this village, and will mark you as a wanted man. But I will show mercy if you simply leave quietly, and no such edict of outlawhood need be issued." Now, the sorcerer Tahmoras, the sorcerer Tahmoras turns to him and says, "How dare you? You have no such power. You are a disgusting thing. You are not in contact with the powers that I am, and your little sword, your little toy is but a toy compared to what I can do." And Shandor says, "Very well," and begins combat. He draws his sword. Okay, let me, I think I need to find an NPC profile for let's see if, does the Monster and Treasure book have like a wizard or something that I could use? Maybe not. I might have to roll up a character. Let's see, is there a mage in here? Perhaps. Djinn. Well, he's not a djinn. He's definitely a human sorcerer. A dryad, no. A dwarf. Let's see, elf. I mean, there's no elves, but I could just use the elf profile if it's got some spells, perhaps. Yeah, Nemesis coming online. Yeah. Um, okay. I could just roll up him, but I think, we're kind of in a combat situation, so I'd rather, you know, not kill the what little dramatic tension there is in these streams. It's kind of weird. The Monster and Treasure book for Castles and Crusades doesn't seem to have like just a mage. Okay, we've got like dwarf. Horse. Oh wait, here human. Maybe. Oh, yeah. That doesn't really give us like human wizard or something like that. Okay. Creating potions. Um. Okay, I might have to look up something like on a database. Um, Let me see. Wizard NPCs. Human wizard NPC sheet. Okay, this is for 5e. Yuck. But all right, let's just roll them up and okay, and then we'll do the combat. Because it'll probably waste more time if I like try to hunt online for like a profile, and also it'd probably be worth it to create this character because that way, um, he could come back potentially. I mean, if Shandor doesn't just like get rid of him right now. Okay, let's go to the wizard. All right. Well, we've got his name. Okay. And we'll say he's pretty experienced. He's going to be like a third level wizard. Hopefully, he won't like nuke Shandor here. Okay. Chaotic Evil. Okay. Ranger. Rogue. Wizard. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll up his hit points. So we've got. So he's going to have 3d4 hit points. So that's 4, 8, 9 hit points. And let's go and do his attributes. Okay, in this case, I think I'll keep the ones on the attributes. Maybe that's kind of cheating, but okay, 6, 10, okay. Strength 10, dexterity 3, 5, 9, con 5, 10, 16. Okay, that's pretty good. Wisdom 4, 10, 12. Okay, better have a good intelligence score. Well, I don't know. I guess he could be like a wizard, but just not a very good one, despite his evil. Okay. 2, 5, 9. Okay, I'll put that in his charisma, and let's see if he can get a better score in intelligence. Okay, 1, 3, 4. Okay, a wizard. Okay, we're gonna mess with this a little bit. Okay, his constitution. Actually, this will fit. Okay, so because of his magic use, his constitution, and he doesn't have any kind of like serious training probably to control it, so his constitution is not very good. All right, and then for spells, he gets okay, wizard spells per day, so he's going to be a 3rd level, so he has so he will have, whoops, paged back, which you guys can't see. Okay, 4, 4, whoops, 3, 1, and 0. Bonus spells with a high intelligence score. So he's going to have 16. If the intelligence score, the wizard can memorize an extra 2nd level spell. Okay, so he's going to get 2 2nd level spells, in fact. Just have to go back to the attributes page to write out the hit points. Oh, okay. So I need to add his Constitution modifier to the hit die rolls. So he got 4. Well, oh no, but it would probably be negative. Probably have even less hit points. All right, let's see. So that'd be -2 to con. Strength is going to be 0. Dex is going to be 0. Wisdom. 0. And int is going to be 2. Charisma 0. Okay, so his hit points, he would, on his hit die rolls, he would get subtract 2 for, so he would actually get, all right, I'm going to re-roll his hit points because I didn't do this correctly. Okay, so he's going to get, all right, first level, so he'd get 1 hit point, second level, 2 hit points, bring him to a total of 3, and then 5 hit points. Okay. All right, now let's do a spell book. Oh wait, I keep forgetting I can just like Control F this. Wizard spells. Okay. So and he gets 4. Um, okay, Magi's Reach, 5-pound telekinesis. I wonder what kind of wizard he is. I mean, we could probably figure that out as we role play him a little bit more. Mending, open close. That's probably something he would have. Ghostly noise. Yeah, because he's probably like scaring the villagers. To psych them out. And arcane rune. First level, which he gets. Yeah, Telemachus. Yeah, that's probably that's kind of what I was thinking. Something like that. Yeah, okay. Magi's missile. I mean, that's like the staple. 1d4 +1. Damage. This is +1 missile per 2 levels. Okay, so he's level 3, so I guess he gets 2 missiles then. Every 2, yeah, so he would get two missiles total. And then erase, burning flames. Yeah, that makes sense. And shock. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, well he can get summon Famler, so let's give him that to give him a little flavor. Summon Famler. Uh, and then he gets 2 second level spells. So acidic bolt, continual fire, web, see invisible. Hmm. Okay, darkness. And then ray of weakening. I think that should be -1 to hit, -1 damage. Okay. Okay, I think that's, yeah, those are all the spells. He's not going to have any kind of armor because he's a wizard, no weapons. So he's AC just as 10. Okay. Okay. And I think just to save space, I will go and draw a little battle map here, down here, of the tavern. It's not a very complex structure. The tavern combat. We've got the bar here. Got a front door. And then I'll just do little squares for the various tables. And we'll put, Shandor was kind of sitting in the corner, and, he probably walked like up to here. So we've got Shandor in this square, and then we've got the wizard here. So that's like about 12 feet between them, roughly. Okay. All right. So now we will roll initiative. So actually, I forgot how to do this. So Initiative is pretty sure in Castles and Crusades it's D10, but obviously I have kind of forgotten. Okay. Combat. Combat terms. Combat round. Initiative. D10. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll. So I think so we have to roll initiative, and then we have to. I think he has to declare the wizard. So Tahmoris is preparing to cast his Magi missile. So all right, but then we'll roll the. Okay, so he gets. Well, okay. Shandor gets a 7. Tahmoris nuts gets a 10. Okay, so Tahmoris goes first. Okay, so Shandor, he's got his sword at the ready. Tahmoris says the magic words, and he fires off this Magi's missile, which I need to see how to do the roll for a hit. Okay, almost there. Okay, the missile strikes without fail unless the caster fails to overcome the creature's SR. The caster chooses the target. Cannot make any special call or trick shots. Okay, so it strikes without fail. All right. So, yeah. Okay, so he rolls. 3. Okay, so Shandor, the missile, Tahmoris babbles in some evil language, and he casts a spell, strikes the bolt of magical energy, strikes him in the chest, and he kind of gets wounded. His clothes are kind of singed with this magic. And then Shandor, with his sword drawn, moves, and let me update our map here. He moves, gets in close to Tahmores and swings his sword, and I have to check the, whoops, I have to check what Shandor's base to hit and stuff is. So I have forgotten. 10 hit points, AC 15. He's got a long sword for 1d8 plus his strength bonus, which is +1, I think. Yeah, +1 could be. Well, he's just first level, so I think his base to hit is just +1. Okay, so Shandor swings with his sword. Hopefully he can hit this guy. Yes, 18. Okay. Strikes him with his long sword, and he rolls the damage. And so that's 4 damage. So Shandor makes a deep cut into Tahmores. Tahmores collapses to the floor, screaming, and screaming like not in pain even, but just like screaming to try and intimidate Shandor, who is a little afraid, because he's never encountered something like this before. But he holds his resolve, and then we will do the next combat round. So rolling for Tahmores. 4, initiative 4. Oh, okay, Shandor, initiative 1. Nuts. Okay, so Tahmores, even though he's like gripping his chest, he's bleeding, he's babbling, in some kind of language. He has decided to summon Famler, so let's see what that does. Okay, summon Famler, level 1 wizard, but we've got a level 3 wizard on our hands. Yeah, I think he's going to have like some kind of small demon. So let's look at. Well, how long does a spell take to cast? Familers do not involve themselves in combat. Oh, but magical beast familers, especially those of an evil disposition, might not do so if they're. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Well, okay, in the rules it says that a quasi-demon is highly unlikely to save their master's life. A devil or imp. Yeah, let's say it's an imp, because he's not that high level of a caster. Okay, so Tahmores, as he's wounded, he says the spell, he summons this imp, which is like this little kind of gray, sort of slimy creature with yellow eyes. It appears. He casts the spell, almost like he's like sounds like he's like throwing up the words, and he shouts, and this imp appears with like the smell of kind of like the rotten egg smell. It's disgusting, and the imp appears. Let me roll up its hit points here. Oh no. Okay. And the imp appears, and it sees Shandor and sees Tahmores dying, and then Shandor says, "I will." Wait, if Tahmores is killed, I think that would end the. Yeah, I think if Tahmores is killed, then he wouldn't. The family would not survive. Like, I think it would go away. Okay, so Shandor is afraid of this creature that appeared, but he goes and he strikes again at Tahmores. He's now even more resolved that this man must be destroyed. Yep, he strikes Tahmores. He delivers the death blow. Probably gotta roll for damage here. Yeah, and he delivers the death blow to Tahmores. The imp screeches and like disappears into like kind of dust basically, and into like smoke. And the wizard is slain on the spot. Okay. I think this would be a good place to stop. Oops, don't want that to fall over again. We didn't really do too much this session. It was a lot of like kind of rolling, but let me. I think Tahmores should be worth at least 100 experience points for Shandor, because he's like pretty bad guy. Maybe his soul is connected to the item that was taken from him. Yeah, it could be. I was thinking maybe not him, but maybe there's like a coven of sorcerers that are in this area, and they want the relic destroyed. Maybe this Saint Danishmand like fought them when they set up the monastery, and so they don't want the relic of the saint back. I'll write that down in the notes as a question, kind of. Okay, so at well, that was just like 2 rounds of combat. but we'll say that the kind of things settle down by about, yeah, maybe he's the, yeah, that's what I was thinking, Telemachus. Okay, so day 5. About 4:40 p.m. Sophomore is slain. 200 experience points to Shandor. Shandor is HPE because he took. Oh, I didn't write it down. I think, what did he take? I think it was like 5 damage. So Shandor is at 5 HP. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. I think Shandor is, we'll just leave it that, Shandor makes his way back to the monastery. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it for this evening. I played quite a while, so but yeah, like I said, I don't know. I guess a lot of this was just like doing NPC generation and stuff. But that's kind of how it goes with these, and checking up on rules, which I know is not like thrilling viewing, but I feel like it's good, important to like know the rules, even if I don't always get them right. Um, and Shandor probably has to go to the monastery so he can rest and heal, as well in the night. Um, and yeah, and then the next session we'll see what happens, because Shandor will want to find the coven of these sorcerers and try to root them out. So, but we'll have to see what would, because Divinicus is kind of the one that's the royal scribe is like there to kind of tell them like, okay guys, we got to, doing the stuff is important, but we still have an objective like to complete, basically, that we have to get to the fort. And we it's not wise to delay longer. Oops. Uh, okay, you know what I'll do? No, we'll just leave it here for tonight. So Chandor's on his way back to the monastery. Probably is going to go talk to Dominicus to tell him to maybe even write a message to the fort to say that we need assistance down the river, to because there may be some kind of sorcerers here, and we need to root them out. Uh, Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this was a good session. It was nice to sit down and do this again. because like these characters are kind of alive in my mind somewhat, thinking about, because it's really the random generation from like the old these older D&D tables that help with that, where like I'm not just, it feels more like a lot more organic than me just like making it all up on the spot, that like generating the NPCs, then it's kind of like creates the sort of tension you need in like a story. More, I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination, that it has that effect. But yeah, okay, I think I'll go ahead and stop for this evening. It's getting pretty late for me, so thanks for watching, everybody. It was always nice to see people, see you guys, Charles and Telemachus, and anyone else out there, and anyone on the replay. If you are brave enough to sit through this for 3 hours, I guess, on replay. But thank you, and have a good evening.